And welcome back to the Orange and Brown Talk podcast. Hey, Mary Kay edition. I'm Ashley Bastock here with Mary Kay Cabot. We've talked about the defense. We've talked about the offense. So now we're going to hit on some more fun questions that we got, I guess. First one comes from Anthony in Columbus. I thought this was kind of interesting. I don't think we've ever gotten a question like this before. If you could interview, hey, Mary Kay, if you could interview one famous sports figure, alive or dead, who do you think it would be and why?
Oh boy.
I know it's a
I
lot.
Yeah, I have not given this any thought yet. So I'd have to think about it for one quick second. So just let me have a
I
minute.
do have one that we could talk about
Okay,
potentially.
you go ahead
Yeah.
first and
I
then I'll
don't
be thinking.
I don't know why, and like I'm honestly not even I don't know the most about tennis or anything, but I would love to interview Serena Williams. Like she's
Oh
just
yeah.
so interesting. I think she's one of the greatest athletes that we've ever gotten to see in our lifetimes, and like obviously the goat of tennis and everything she's accomplished on the tennis court, off the tennis court. She does all the fashion stuff too. I just really think she's led a fascinating life. She's friends with Beyonce. Like, I've always been fascinated by her, even though I do not claim to be the most knowledgeable person about tennis. I just think that's like the kind of one-on-one interview. If you ever got that, like, it's so rare. Like, Oprah's like the only kind of person getting that interview. But I think Serena, like, for me, for some reason, would just be first name that came to mind. I'm going to go with my gut here.
Yeah, no, that's fabulous. That would be very, very exciting. And you're right about that. It would be so wide ranging.
Mm-hmm.
Um, One of the ones that does come to my mind, because I think he's such a fascinating character and not everybody likes him. But one of the ones that would come to my mind would be Aaron Rodgers. I mean,
Yeah.
and, anybody that's going to take, a vow of silence and go into darkness and silence for whatever it was, 3 days or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know how or why anybody could do that, but I mean, he's just a different cat, right?
So different.
Right? He marches to his own drummer. He's dated Shailene Woodley. He's got some celeb to him. He's been around for so long. He just does his own thing. He doesn't care really what anybody thinks about him. And I would love, that would be really cool to try to get him to speak his mind and, just talk to him about some of these off the wall sorts of things that he does.
Yeah, and to follow up on our podcast from yesterday, I would love to ask him about being a Taylor Swift fan after all of those videos of him went viral at the Eras tour. And I will say, I talked about this on 92.3 The Fan a couple weeks ago with our friend Jonathan Peterlin when those videos first came out. And I was like, good for Aaron Rodgers because like he's not singing the singles, like he's singing the deep cuts, he's singing the B-side tracks. Like I want to ask him about that too. I think it'd be a pretty fun interview. And think about it, Pat McAfee gets to do that like once a week.
Hmm. Yes, yes, definitely. And yeah, there's a lot to him, and he's not your average run of the mill quarterback who a
Mhm.
lot of them have similar stories. A lot of them have similar mindsets. He's different. He's just completely different, and I would love to dig into that mind.
All right, we got one more.